This time, I'm going to do something a bit different. Instead of doing a joke, I thought maybe I'll do something quite serious. Recently, I purchased a pair of sunglasses that made everything pink, and for some reason, it reminded me of Twin Peaks. Shout out Jimbo Jones and Oki. And so it made me wonder, how exactly did they make Twin Peaks look that way? How did they make it this pinky, purple, orangey dream? And after looking into a bunch of interviews, research into filters, and just other things relating to cinematography from the early 1990s, I discovered a few interesting things. Primarily, the series was shot on 35mm film. Season 1 used Fujicolor 8516, also known as AX500T, and Season 2 used a Kodak film stock, which I'm going to assume is Eastman Color 5295 400T. The cinematographer for the pilot, Ron Garcia, is primarily a Fujicolor person. But at the time, the technology in the telecine bay, which is how they convert film into video, was more Kodak-oriented, hence why Season 2 used Kodak film stock. It seems that the first two seasons, excluding the pilot, were very much inspired by old-school Hollywood cinematography, in particular the movie Touch of Evil. Season 1 in Frank Bayer's eyes is probably his least favorite visually. He prefers Season 2, down to choices in lenses and camera. A lot of Twin Peaks was shot without an overhead lighting rig, apparently. A lot of it was done with just lights on light stands on the ground, or, the filters used on the cameras, I quote, low contrast 1, black net number 2. So a contrast filter and some sort of black netting diffusion, with occasionally a coral filter, so something that would warm up the image slightly. And it seems that pinky color that comes from the image that I think of when I think of Twin Peaks is a post-production technique. Apparently, David Lynch really wanted the image to be warm and would push the red channel to give it this nice red feeling. Because if you look at some people's skin tones, they look sickly. They're almost orange occasionally. So I decided, well, this is meant to be a Nowhere for November video, so I'll just shoot with what I have. Now, if I had money, I would of course be renting out all these scrims and diffusion and, a cinema camera and all this nonsense, but I don't have that. All I have is a Aperture 60D, a medium format camera with 500T film stock, and that's it. So I got a person who I thought vaguely looked like Agent Cooper, and we went to a park, and we shot in piney looking areas to sort of recreate something. Now, unfortunately, most of these photos I'm not very happy with, especially with some of the scratches. There was one photo in particular that I decided was good enough, and in order to sort of make it look the same way as the TV show, I often cross-compared with Season 2 just to match that Kodak look. It took a bit of finessing with the color and the contrast, but I think I have something that I'm quite happy with. Obviously, this is not exactly what the show looks like. It's almost impossible to get that look, considering now those film stocks no longer exist. The lenses do, and the cameras do, but I would have to utilize modern film emulsion in order to emulate something. I would love to take more photos in a very similar style to the TV show, but I unfortunately do not have the equipment or their film stock to do so. If you would like to see more recreations of Twin Peaks or maybe some other movie that I'm vaguely interested in, feel free to throw me like $5,000 so I can rent out all this equipment.